So I want you just to close your eyes, take a nice deep breath. You know, you're always welcome to yawn or stretch. You know, we hold so much tension in our body, and once we start to settle and we give ourselves the time to deal with stuff, it's bound to come up. This tension is bound to come up. So if you need to stretch a little bit or yawn or you know, if you're feeling an impulse to just move, or you know, if you're twitching, just really embrace that. That's all part of this process that we're all in. And I commend you for making time for this and making space for this, because it does take some courage to slow down and to breathe deeply, because we know that when we do that, the stuff that is there will come up, and that is exactly what we're going for today. So close your eyes, notice where there is tension in your body, and allow that tension just to be there. By not judging our own tension, by not feeling there's something wrong, I'm not trying to fix it right away, we are already starting to bring more space into our beingness, and that already takes off the edge a little bit. So wherever you're feeling tension, just acknowledge it. Breathing deeply. As deeply as you're comfortable. Become aware of your surroundings, the sounds, the different layers of sounds. And become aware of your inner sounds, your inner surroundings. What is your present state of comfort in your body physically? Just take note of it. How deeply are you breathing naturally? Is it a shallow breath, or is it going all the way down into your lower abdomen? Are your shoulders tense? Are you holding tension in your jaw? You know, just is your forehead relaxed? Just really just become aware of what is going on. And then feel down into the base of your spine, and just see what it feels like, what your root chakra feels like, if you can get a feeling of it. If there is some kind of vibration, if there is some kind of sense of movement down there, it's a good sign. There is some movement, some energetic movement, you know, you can feel it sizzling in a way that means like it's healthy, it's in a good state. If you're feeling pain, or if you really just can't feel it at all, it means that you have some blocks there. What blocks our chakras, our energy centers in our body in general, is when we have unresolved trauma or chronic stress. It's a time now with the COVID and the changes in our world and in our livelihood for many of us, where this theme of our foundation is becoming quite prevalent, I think. And I think it's a really important time to check in with how you feel about your foundation in life, how you feel about how secure you are in life. I recommend keeping your eyes closed for a lot of this process because it's just less distraction when you have your eyes closed. And please breathe into your body and locate where your breath is going, and also locate where it's like you're following your breath, and also notice where in your body you're feeling certain things. This focus on where your breath is going and where your emotions are or where your sensations are happening in the body is a great way to take you out of your mind. It makes you very focused, and half of the battle of doing this work is just being present and being concentrated on what is happening, being aware. Our fear of connecting again with these deep, dormant traumas from a long time ago, usually, the fear of meeting that pain again, which is what we need to do to be able to surpass it, to go beyond it, to release it. We need to meet it again. We need to meet it again with the consciousness that we have now. So the fear of that can often translate into restlessness, into just not being able to sit down, feeling like you need to do this now. All of a sudden you need to clean the fridge, or all of a sudden you need to go on a road trip. All of a sudden you need to vacuum. We start to do things that we really don't, need to do right now, and it just becomes a way of distracting yourself, or you start to judge, or you start to somehow make something else more important than this process of just being present and going within. So right now we're still reining in our energy. We're still becoming aware of, if we want to run, how what happened? Okay, we're going to keep going. So right now we're just still reining in our energy. We're reining in our awareness so that we can really become focused. Okay, so close your eyes. And breathe into your root chakra, into your first energy center that's at the base of your spine. Let your breath fall in and out gently, naturally. If you can, let your breath fall all the way, enter all the way into your lower stomach. You can almost feel like you're actually breathing into your root chakra. And then just ask yourself, how secure am I feeling in my life? How secure am I feeling in my relationship with myself? How stable am I feeling in my relationship with myself and in my relationship to my home, in my relationship to money, in my relationship in my relationship, okay, with someone? How secure, how stable am I feeling? And if there are any emotions coming up, then just let them come up. Let these emotions come up. Let yourself feel the emotion and just say to yourself, if it was okay that this emotion was here right now, even though it might not feel good, if it was okay, what would that feel like? And let yourself embrace the emotion that's here. Maybe you're feeling pretty secure, but maybe there's a little bit still that could improve. Okay, so I want you to, regardless of where you are in your journey, I want you to go deeper. Use this opportunity to go even deeper. Okay? Push the boundary gently of how secure you could really feel. Maybe you're feeling already secure in your own livelihood. Maybe you trust that you're going to be just fine with this transition that's happening in the world. Okay? Maybe you're just fine because you are in a relationship and your partner is providing, you know. Regardless of where you are on your comfort or on your security level, I would like for you to use this opportunity to go into the area where you could shine even more light. If there's a little bit of like being dormant in an aspect of maybe how secure you could feel, you as an individual, your autonomous self, your real self, your authentic self. If there is a part of you that is that has let that level of autonomy become dormant because maybe you've become a little bit complacent, then I want you to wake that part up. Okay, so wherever you are, stretch yourself a little bit more into even more truth, into even more expansion. Because if you are already fairly secure for yourself, and you can hold yourself or your relationship or your family even, just imagine what you could do when you step into that extra security that might come from gaining back the security of being creatively independent, let's say, of following, creating a foundation, a mental, psychological, emotional, spiritual foundation for yourself, from where you can create a physical foundation for yourself, where you can that can be the foundation for what you're truly here to create. And lean into that feeling. It might be a little bit uncomfortable because it's the unknown, and so lean into that. What would it feel like if you got used to having a solid foundation of self-acceptance? A solid foundation of knowing that the divine, that the creative energy, this omnipotent energy that is creating chaos and order in this world, not random chaos, but chaos to create a new order, a higher order. What if you had a strong knowing? What if your foundation was so strong that you just knew that? You had a complete trust that this chaos that is happening in the world is here to create a higher order of living, a greater system, a more beautiful pattern. What if you knew that? What would that feel like? Wow, that's expansion. That's focus. That is feeling your sexual organ in a new way of creativity and connectedness with the earth. That is activation. And if you are feeling very almost disheartened right now because you're not anywhere close to this type of strength and connectedness, and you're feeling very insecure and you're feeling maybe even panicked, then take heart, because you're still doing the work right now to strengthen that. And if you are in despair and you're feeling a lot of insecurity come up from the past, or this is triggering emotions of fear, of feeling like you're not stable, you're not secure, then I highly recommend that you reach out and you find a professional journey practitioner or other practitioner who can help you. You can reach out to me, you can reach out to us on our Bliss Keys, in our Bliss Keys Collective, where I have listed other, practitioners who are experienced with this type of work. Okay. So we're going to continue through the process. Just see where you are at and what your specific need is in regards to whether you need one-on-one help with this, or whether you can do this on your own and go to the next level on your own. Okay, just with these videos and with the exercises that I'm giving you. And of course there's the platform where we can all interact and share and ask questions and inspire each other, to keep growing in the group, in the Facebook group that we've got attached to this. So welcome you there. So keep breathing into what is here. Keep relaxing wherever there's tension. And keep focusing on the question of security and stability within yourself, in your foundation, your connectedness to Mother Earth. I'm going to share an anecdote from my own life. When you have been raised, like I was, by someone who didn't feel secure, my beautiful mother, who has passed away 6 years ago, my beautiful mother had a little bit of an orphan energy. She was an unwanted child. She was raised in her family, but when she was conceived, or when her mother found out that she was pregnant, she was considered a burden because the family was poor. Everyone was, dealing with the depression in Australia. This was in the late 30s, and my mother took away from that a sense of not being welcome, and she really had a lot of insecurity about that. And she was always exceeding, I mean, just being remarkably creative and innovative and just incredible with what she did and how she showed up in life. But it was all coming from, most of it felt to me was coming from a fear of being abandoned, a fear of not having security. So really, she didn't really have that security that you would want a mother to have, where she can just kind of hold you and be there, and where you feel that connection, you know, to this to Mother Earth, and your and it's a given. You know, for me that was never a given. That's why I projected a lot outward onto men and really distanced myself from who I really am as a woman, distanced myself from my sisterhood, then worked on that, wrote about it, and, you know, now being in a place of really, for the first time, consciously owning and celebrating my own connection to Mother Earth, to the energy of feeling I'm wanted here in life. You know, this is safe. You know, it's safe to be alive on this planet. You know, and so if you haven't been raised with that, as many of you, I'm sure, who are watching this have not. You know, if your mother didn't have this security within herself, then what might have happened is that you've become so accustomed to that lack of security that you have trained yourself, you've been conditioned to seek that security through a man, for instance, or through something in your life where you need to maybe control that aspect of your life, you know, to feel secure. That is manipulation, and that's still in a way coming from fear, rather than from just this intrinsic connectedness with Earth. You know, so just become aware of that. Start to become aware of your pattern that is running you. And you know what, we're going to leave it here for today, because I've given you a lot of food for thought. And so just to recap, in order to elevate and to accelerate on your journey of becoming who you are meant to be, so you can show up in the world as that, because the world really, really needs all of us right now to show up show up living our purpose, and bringing more light and more strength, you know, and more hope and knowingness that we're going to be fine into the world. So in order to do that, make a space for yourself where you can just become still. Focus on your breathing, really follow the breath into your body, notice the sensations, the physical and the emotional sensations, and always welcome what is here. If you find any judgment inside yourself, any judgmental thoughts, just thank your mind for sharing. Say, hey, I can panic later. For now, I'm just going to face this. Okay, and start to become still. This is like an active meditation, you know, when you become still and you just become familiar with where your breath is going, how deep is your breath going naturally, how does it feel, what does that bring up, and then determine, do I need professional help because I'm really feeling scary and I really can't do this on my own, there's too much stuff coming up. Or when you notice that you keep running from the meditation, you keep running from the deep work, okay, that's another indication that you do need someone to kind of hold the space for you and make you feel safe, you know. Or can you just do this and commit to doing this on your own, you know, regularly, a few times a week, you know, where you just connect with yourself and ask yourself the questions and feel yourself in relation to your environment. And right now we're working on our relationship to our groundedness with Mother Earth. And I'm going to leave it here. I'm really happy that we are starting this journey together, and I welcome your questions, I welcome your comments, and I will see you in the next segment of this journey of balancing and strengthening our root chakra.